How's it going, guys? Anime Steak here, back with another video, bringing you What If Naruto Was a Full Uzumaki Part 4. And this is actually the finale, and a lot of you guys might be asking, wait a minute, the last part was just getting to the preliminaries of the Chunin exams in, like, OG Naruto. How is this the finale? Like, there's still a lot to cover, and to be honest, you're right, but I saw this series as not going in a direction I really wanted it to. This was when I was 5 months younger. Like, I started the series 5 months ago. Not really. I don't want to say not really thinking of the future, but I didn't have the same like vision as I do now, and I just kind of just want to wrap this series up. And so with that, I'll just be ending off on just asking or answering the question of what this series was. What if Naruto was a full Uzumaki? If you're wondering why, I made a previous video called "The Problems with what was it called? The Problems with What Ifs." You can check it out. It will be in the link in the description right after all of my plugs. And so let's just answer the question: what if Naruto was a full Uzumaki? So to start it all off, everything I said before this, I still hold true. Everything that happened still would have happened, right? But after the preliminaries, I don't think much, like everybody said, not a lot changes. And I can only think of a couple instances where things would change. The first would be Jiraiya meeting Naruto. But like I said, nothing would really change, right? I don't think anything would really change till the time skip. Instead of Naruto just learning how to make a big ball Rasengan, I'm pretty sure Jiraiya would teach him how to control his chains. But that's really what full Uzumaki would really bring to the table, with him being a full Uzumaki. He does have larger chakra, but in the show, he already has an exponential amount, so it'd just really be like, I don't know, like, people already see his chakra as super large, and they already commit, like, what is it? They already like comment on it when people can like sense or like measure up his chakra, so they would still have the same like reaction, because like it's at that point where in canon his power level is at a certain point where it's just like super above average, and at this point with him being a full Uzumaki, it would just be that times 10. But people already see his chakra larger, like see his chakra as really big, so it would just be the same reaction. So the only like real change would probably, I can only think of it as after the time skip arc, he would show his new abilities against Kakashi in the bell test. They would still have that whole cheesy situation where he like fakes the spoiling of the book that Kakashi's reading, and they would probably just capture Deidara when they do the whole Gaara retrieval arc. And that's the only two instances I see of him using his chains, would just be to catch up to Deidara. He wouldn't have that whole scene with the 9 tails because he'd have used his chains, and I believe at that point Deidara would probably use his self-destructing jutsu. And what would they do there? I would think that Kakashi would just activate his Mingekyo Sharingan earlier, because he's like, oh god, there's nothing I can do, and then activates it, makes him go woo woo woo, and then goes away. But other than that, I think throughout the series, Naruto would just continue learning how to use his Rasengan. I think he'd just be a little bit better at chakra control, so he would learn how to do things quicker. So like in most cases, Naruto would get to the fight like quicker, like versus Kakuzu and Hidan, all that, and all the other fights like against Orochimaru, throughout most of Shippuden, like when Naruto first meets up with Sasuke. Like I said, this is why I'm ending off the series, because, well, he would just be a full Uzumaki, more chakra and all that. I think in the whenever he does the stuff against Kurama, he would just have more experience with the seals, with the chains that his mother grants him, I believe. I've not watched Shippuden in a while. With the whole thing where I gave him Air Bullet, I think he would just use that instead of using kunais. So I guess he wouldn't have to spend that extra Rio. People would just, I don't think they would see him any differently if he had red hair, except for when he was in the academy. Maybe his full Uzumaki would help him learn Sage Mode better. But he would still have the whole thing with Against Pain would be the same. Maybe he would use his chains for an attack or two, maybe to deal with the path that like grabbed him and started just sucking the Senjutsu out of him. But other than that, I don't really see much happening. I was thinking, would he gain the Rinnegan? And that would probably be a whole what if on itself. Is what if Naruto got the Rinnegan from Pain, which would actually be pretty interesting. But while thinking about it, I don't think, what was her name? Conan would give him it. I don't think she would be like, you know, you guys have the same similarities. I think the same thing would happen. Like I said, not a lot of the difference here. And so to, I guess, wrap it up, I know this is going to be a short video. What if Naruto was a full Uzumaki? Not much. He would just be a full Uzumaki. We'll still keep in the air bullets. He'd have air bullets, and he would use that instead of, kunais. He'd have chains that he could use once in a while. Maybe he would use it against Kaguya in the final fight. He would still have, I think it would be easier for him to control his QB, like tail cloak, but he doesn't ever use it after, like, I think the only time he ever like utilized the tail beast cloaks was to give all of his chakra to everybody. I guess those would just be a bit stronger when he gives it to everybody. But yeah, that is what if Naruto was a full Uzumaki. I'm sorry I had to cut this short. I did stream this on my Twitch, so if I sound like kind of awkward, my bad. The mic quality may be a little worse too, is because my dad gave me these, because I got a new PC, and my new PC kind of screwed with everything with the mic quality, and so he gave me his headset because the Razer Krakens were not working that he gave me. So that's unfortunate. I hope you guys tune into my next couple of what ifs. I'll probably do what if Naruto obtained the Rinnegan from Naruto, or at least the Diva path. And then my next what if I'm probably going to be working on is what if Sakura had the Sharingan. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry I had to cut this series short, but I wasn't seeing much going, didn't see much happening with it. So yeah, see you in the next one.